Buckle up, Buttercup. It's Pittsburgh Sports Talk. This just in from Coach Mike Tomlin. He needs Steeler Nation this Sunday at Heinz Field when the Steelers take on, well, Odell Beckham, Jean-Pierre Paul and his missing finger. Oh, and the other Manning brother, the one that's won a Super Bowl also, as the Giants come to Steelers Town.
How disruptive can a home crowd be?
Man,
limit what they can do.
Steeler Nation has an opportunity to be a significant contributor to our efforts this week. They work almost exclusively out of the no-huddle offense, and they probably do it for several reasons. They've got great continuity at quarterback and Coach McAdoo, and I think that continuity provides opportunities for latitude for Eli to get them in appropriate plays based on what he sees. To do that, you got to communicate, be it hand signals or more appropriately or usually more effectively, verbal communication. If our crowd is effective, it really makes that difficult. And lastly, working exclusively out of no huddle usually quells a crowd over time. And at those significant moments as the game unfolds, you're able to communicate. Hopefully the crowd stays in the game. Hopefully we do our job in terms of helping the crowd stay in the game.
The Tanker doesn't see this as a team on the rise. The Tank sees this as a team that beat two inferior teams in the Cleveland Browns and the Indianapolis Colts. First, let's address that offense. You know what? When you have Ben Roethlisberger, A.B. Brown, and Mr. Bell, you should be one of the most productive NFL teams to ever come around in putting points on the board. Unfortunately, that Steelers offense was not that impressive. When you go up against the Browns, when you go up against the Colts, you should be putting up over 40 points of offense with Roethlisberger, Bell, and Brown. Now that's just my opinion. You may believe that your Steelers went into those towns up against those teams and did a pretty good job. Time will tell how this offense grows. A December to remember is what Coach Tomlin told us this week. Regarding your defense, I really can't tell you if they've gotten any better. I can tell you that the rookies are stepping up. They've gotten used to their professional cleats. They're getting used to their assignments. Rookie Artie Burns has the speed. He has the tenacity. And you know what? The young man likes to hit as well. Who I'm impressed with is 6'1", 309 pounds, a pure stud, is Mr. Hargrave. And I call him Mr. Hargrave because he stepped up and he played like a champ last week in Cam Hayward's absence. So I asked Coach about Hargrave's performance.
Hargrave had a great game. Did you change his position job? I mean, he had a great game, or did he just have a breakout game?
No, like I've said repeatedly, one man's misfortune is usually another man's opportunity, and Cam Hayward's snaps have to go to somebody, whether it's in base and or in sub. Guys like Ricardo Matthews and others have gotten a great opportunity in base, and Hargrave has gotten a great opportunity to play some in sub, which he hadn't as much when Cam was available to us.
Out of position and out of focus. That's what Coach Tomlin kept telling us was wrong with his defense during the losing streak. So I asked Coach quite simply, does 2 wins make a focused team? Does it make a well-positioned team?
Coach, over the 4-game losing streak, you mentioned repeatedly that there was a lack of focus and a lot of defensive players were out of position. How much significant progress have you seen against 2 inferior teams?
You know, like I mentioned earlier, I didn't want to overstate that. I referred to it as popcorn, and all that was required was popcorn. A guy out of position here, a missed assignment there. You just don't win games as you get into the season, particularly versus good people. When that occurs. We've minimized that some, and that's aided us in playing better football, particularly defensively in recent weeks.
Let's face it, if the Steelers defense doesn't come up big time on the goal line, not once, but twice, they lose in Indianapolis. So the question was that pure luck, or was it by design that both of the safeties came up and made big plays on the goal line?
Coach, when the safeties came up on the goal line stops, were they shadowing the quarterback at that point, or did they just make great plays?
They made good football plays.
For an NFL team to be a championship team, you need those deep roster spots to step up. Rosie Nixon, Mr. Hubbard, got added to the ground game last week, and Coach recognized their superior performance.
Coach, Rosie Nixon and Hubbard seem to get more involved in the run game this week. Can you speak to their helping the run game this week?
I thought both contributions were positive. Chris Hubbard helps us at the tight end position, particularly when you're playing people that have big ends that are capable of being dominant in the run game and leveling the playing field there. A guy like Pierre Paul is a problem for tight ends in the run game. So a guy like Hubbard helps us in that area, but that's not earth-shattering. A lot of people use extra O-linemen for those matchup reasons in today's NFL. I thought Rosie just continues to do a good job of carving out a role for himself. He missed a substantial amount of time with injury. He's had to get on a moving train, and much like Ladarius Green and Bud Dupree, we've been talking about doing this in recent weeks. He's probably 5 or 6 weeks into that process, and he's done a nice job of carving out a role for himself. He's made himself helpful from a special team standpoint. That gets him a hat consistently, and he's doing good things when given an opportunity to contribute to offense, whether it's being a lead blocker or other things that we ask him to do. So I'm excited about his growth, his recent contributions to the offense, but more than anything, it's a continuation of maybe what we had hoped he would provide prior to his injury when he missed a substantial amount of time.
Hey you, I was just talking to my good friend Art Rooney, and guess what? We've decided to give you your very own Shinesti.com Steelers suit, complete with jacket, tie, yellow pants. You're gonna look sharp, sweetheart. But guess what? Only one lucky winner will win the free Steelers suit from Shinesti.com. That sounds great, Tank. Tell me how to win. It's easy, Buttercup. Go to Facebook, like our page, Pittsburgh Sports Talk on Facebook. Just like us, share some of our videos. And at the end of the Steelers season, at the Super Bowl in Houston, let's hope, I'm going to choose one lucky viewer who likes our Facebook page, Pittsburgh Sports Talk, and you're going to win your very own Steelers tie, jacket, pants from Shinesti.com. Right, Art?